Well, Nick, you've become chair of Hampshire Cricket. It's fair to say it's a position that's become synonymous with a certain person before you.
Yeah, indeed. It's a great privilege to take over from Rod. I think you probably know I've known Rod since 2000. Very proud to be in a small part of what's happened here at the ground over the recent years. But as Rod takes a little bit of a step back from cricket itself, as I'm sure you know, he's still chairman of the holding company of the business, still very much involved, still involved with the Southern Vipers. But to be able to chair Hampshire Cricket, it's a very, very proud moment for me.
We've kind of got used to what Rod's been all about in this position over the years. What are you going to bring to it?
Well, let's pick up on that. I think to me what Rod has been about is obviously championing Hampshire Cricket, championing the venue here, but he's very much a man for England cricket. And I'd like to think that I can do the same. So represent Hampshire at the governing body, at the ECB, but also do everything for the members, the players, and everybody involved with Hampshire Cricket.
Let's take the ECB first. I know Rod's, had his moments with them over the years, but also some good moments as well. I know you've been there and introduced yourself. How's it been, and how do you see you going the way forward?
Well, I guess fortunately, having been managing director all those years ago here, I've been involved with the ECB for quite a long time. I know quite a few of the people there, and indeed the chairman who formed the wider first-class group. So I look forward to that. I think relationships are important, but at the same time we shouldn't compromise our values, and I think we lead the way here at Hampshire, and I'm determined to keep it that way.
Rod fought hard to get that first Ashes test, and it took many years, so clearly maybe some tough times ahead, but how do you see your dealings with the ECB? Well,
I think the test, the Ashes test in 2027 absolutely crowns what Rod's achieved here. We can all debate the journey by which we had to fight and battle to get the international status that we've got. But with that now ahead of us and the international programme between now going forward to 2027, I think we have established ourselves on the map. It's obviously a proving ground as we continue to deliver international cricket. And I'm confident the relationship with the ECB will allow us to do that.
Do you see yourself sort of further pushing the boundaries and getting more international cricket here? Is that one of the things that you see on the agenda?
Yeah, I think pushing the boundaries in the sense that I do believe Hampshire and the venue does lead the way, and I think we've set the example for many other counties, but I don't see it as an obstacle. I see it very much as an opportunity. The game is changing in the world. We only have to look around all the different countries hosting different competitions now, and I see Hampshire very much as a part of leading the way that English cricket responds to what's going on in the rest of the world.
Part of the problems is that the English domestic calendar seems very full, doesn't it? A lot of people are saying it's very crowded. How do you view that, and maybe, working forward, how are you going to maybe try and set the agenda?
I think that's a fair comment. Clearly, there's more and more short-form competitions in the world. That means there's the potential for more clash. But to me, that's exactly the opportunity. We have to be prepared to evolve the game of cricket here at Hampshire and in England cricket. And either you seize that opportunity and do something with it, and let's face it, there are more and more people watching cricket, so the opportunity is there, or you try and hang on to things that perhaps haven't evolved, and I'm not sure that's quite the right way.
So here at the Aus Bowl, how do you see things moving forward over the next few years? What vision have you got?
I think the Aus, there's two levels. One's ensuring we continue to be, and I think we lead this, very much involved with the community. So this ground hosts so much boys, girls, men's and women's cricket, and I do believe we lead that way. When you look at the crowds coming in now, far more family-based, and as we host more and more international cricket, and clearly we're being successful at the county level too, I think the venue can be very much at the forefront of what's happening in the game of cricket in England.
Of course, there's a big proposed redevelopment going on here at the moment. How do you see that sort of going through the process over the next year or two?
I'm probably not the best person to ask. I mean, my focus is very much chairman of the cricket part of the business. That will come through. Clearly, that could enable a lot of things, but I'm certainly not positioned to comment on how it is. We already have an extraordinary venue, and if that can develop further and offer further opportunity, all the better for all parts of the game of cricket at Hampshire.
I know you've been deputy chair here for about 2 years or 2.5 years. Rod said at the time when you were appointed, he's got a calm demeanour and excellent communication skills. Does that sort of pretty much sum you up?
Well, bless him, it's kind of him to say that. Probably not for me to say, but no, I look forward to doing this role. It's a pleasure to be a part of Hampshire Cricket, and yeah, if I can communicate on behalf of the county, that's a good thing to do.
I know you've known Rod for a long time. You know, you're pretty much, I guess, on the same page. Are you going to be a similar type of style to him?
Picking on the first point, I've known Rod since 2000. So yes, I do think we're aligned in a lot of our thinking. I guess our styles will be different. It would be odd if we were the same. It's certainly not my job to try and emulate what he does. I think I have my own firm views, but I wouldn't see that as a divergence from what Hampshire have been doing to date, very much developing and take us on further.
As you mentioned to earlier, you've been MD here in a few years at the turn of the century. Does that put you in a good position to know what this place is all about?
I think it is an advantage, because not just as being managing director, but I've also been a non-exec on the board since that time, actually, which is quite an extraordinary time. So at least I have some additional insight into the workings of the venue and the business outside of just the pure cricket. So I hope that does help me as well. It means I'm not starting from zero on all of that. But to reiterate, my focus is very much Hampshire Cricket and the development of Hampshire Cricket. So that's probably information rather than the part that I would be in any way actively involved in.
Final two questions. What's the toughest part of this job looking ahead?
I haven't thought that one through. I guess I've always been a supporter of Hampshire since I was a lad. I was first a member when I was 6 years old, so nearly 60 years ago, been a member since. So being able to separate the business of Hampshire Cricket from being a supporter will be a line that I need to manage quite well. So I guess that's probably one of the toughest things.
And the easiest part, do you think?
Oh, the privilege of being able to watch Hampshire more often than I've been able to in the past. I am a supporter, as I just mentioned, and that's just an absolute pleasure to be able to support and be there with the team, and the teams, I should say, right through the season.
It is a successful setup on the field. I'm just talking on the field here at the moment. Might that be a tough call to sort of keep that success going, because sometimes it can only be one little wrong turn and all of a sudden it unravels. But for a few years now, both the men and the women here have been good, haven't they?
No, I think success, borrow a cliche, breeds success. It breeds the belief. It makes more people interested in the club, support-wise, bringing people through the pathway. So I think it's the opposite. I think it's a platform to grow further. We clearly have ambitions to be successful in all three forms of the competition in the men's game. And no, I would challenge that. I think it's very much further opportunity for Hampshire Cricket.